Good morning. I'm your host Salim bin Muhammad Rafi, and this is my YouTube channel Zamir Universal. I'm back to you, and I'm glad that my voice is reaching all of you. And again, it's very brief and very short message, and I hope that you will listen to it to the end of this vlog and see if there are any lessons to be learned. What is happening now in Pakistan has happened before. It's nothing new. But what is new is that the target, which is now in 2023, May, on the pretext of May 9th, it's almost like mimicry or a repeat episode of 9/11, which everyone knows was engineered so beautifully by the Jews. They had their team in New Jersey with all the recording, and all CIA, all their intelligence agencies, all their Air Force, the SOVs, all their Pentagon, everyone was sleeping. In a country which calls herself as a superpower and should have the best intelligence and have best, I think, surveillance over the skies, had so many aircrafts coming and hitting the World Trade Center. It is the same way that if you go past, if you are a Pakistani citizen or belong to Lahore, or you have gone to Lahore airport from the inside city of Lahore, and you will find that how many places you have police checkposts, army checkposts, with their mobile special wireless, telephone or communication system. They have triplicate, not mobile phones only. They have their special systems with which they can reach there. I had the honor of being a vice chancellor and was just opposite the Corps Commander's office for 7 years. And I had also the honor of looking after General Musharraf when he had to do the opening ceremony of CMH, that's the Civil Military Hospital, and that was, I think, when they inaugurated the medical school there. And I being there in the way, I was informed that at such and such time, and it is only such an information is provided to the people who are on that road and could be providing some sort of security assistance. And being a vice chancellor, I'm overall in charge of thousands of students and the faculty members. And I had 37 guards of the university, which is a private security provided, and they were our employees. Over and above that, there was an obscene, or there was a call, there was a fake call that there is a guy with a bomb. I think he had a suicide bomber. It's already in the premises of the university in one of the lecture halls. And we are warning you that first it will blast off all the students, which were more than 200. And then obviously then the VIP, I think, will be affected, with the mean General Musharraf. Within a matter of minutes, I had the access to the military police, and the military police, they had access to the bomb squad, the Alsatian dogs, German shepherds, who could smell, the bomb, or they could smell any kind of ammunition and foul. And within minutes, we had ISI reaching there in my office, and I had the Superintendent Police of Server Road, which are all surrounding that area, are supposed to be attached with the security of that. And within half an hour, we had solved where the call originated from, who was the caller, and I had the file of that filthy student who had some grudge with the teacher and who had made this fake call. And with the help of the mobile phone service provider, it did. How could that happen? That all these security layers were, I think, bypassed, and there was so much crowd which was allowed to enter and do this ransack. I think it speaks loudly. All those intellectuals all over the world, they will make just a mockery of Pakistan's army and security. And I think the civil police, which was directly under the caretaker chief minister or the PDM or the imported government or the, after regime change, the stooges which have been implanted with immense hatred from the public. So the difference I'm going to say here, why this was a different thing, that the attack, that parties to be crushed have been tried before, starting from Ayub Khan, who I think tried to destroy Muhtarama Fatima Jinnah, sister of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the most respected lady, and whatever he could, I think, equate her with, the bitch. And he had the guy in Gujranwala who owned a Pepsi Cola plant, whose son is now one of the ministers in the present government, is an engineer, Ghulam Dastagir. And he called all sorts of names to that lady. So he crushed that and introduced Abdo. After that, I think you can see that this continued, that what Yahya Khan did, I think is known to everybody. What was done to the Bengali women, how they were raped, how they were killed, what was all sorts of, I think, tortures, brutality, everything was done to them, and the result was that the immense hatred for not giving the majority leader, the person who had got the majority votes and should have been the Prime Minister, was denied this. It's exactly the same thing happening now in 2023. The difference is only that the crowd there at that time was not the middle class, not the educated lawyers, not the housewives, not the professors of a Quaid-e-Azam University, not the top lawyers of the country, not the mothers, kith and kin, they are having cancer. Either they were on bedridden or they were themselves a cancer survivor. Now this time, I think the biggest mistake made by the establishment or the new incumbent who I think followed Qamar Javed Bajwa, the main devil who brought the regime change, and he destroyed the country's economy, destroyed the country's peace, destroys the relationship between civil and military, and for the first time, March the 23, the parade which people used to look forward to was cancelled. So there was no, flying, exhibit. There were no tanks, there were no missiles displayed, and that to me was a great, great loss. And that damage, that wound, I think will take decades, if not centuries, before it's repaired. Now this is what I think the present people have made a mistake, and that obviously includes the scum of the society, and that scum of the society was gathered and collected by Qamar Javed Bajwa. And to see him wearing dark glasses, sitting with the new incumbent, was a disgrace. That further, I think, freshened the wounds of the nation, that he is no different. Although he is different, no two persons God Almighty made alike. He is a completely different person. For some reason, he feels himself vulnerable. For some reason, he is insecure, and he is reacting. All his actions are in reaction, and not the real chief of army staff would be doing this thing. Now the wound this time are so deep because he touched those fabric of society who can write, who are intellectuals, who will put these things in history, who will publish their pictures, their families' pictures. They will have their family trees, and imagine the seeds of hatred which will be now kept fresh, watered again and again and again. People have maybe forgotten 70-80% of what Ayub Khan did, what Yahya Khan did, what General Ziaul Haq did, what I think Musharraf did. But look at that, what this man has done in such a short period. This is what done. You give them in writing affidavits to speak and say they are abandoning a party. Fine, they'll do it. What will happen when you disappear, when you retire, or God forbid your demise is expedited by God Almighty, which could be done for anybody else. Nobody wishes that you do, because there is still a respect, there is still, I think, an admiration for that uniform and stick you carry. And for God's sake, stop this. Stop this, and I say it again, stop this, because this will be futile, and you are only, I think, sowing hatred, and this will return back to you. Everything like this which goes up comes down. It's only a matter of years. How much longer you or me or any one of us can serve this country? I am not living in this country, so I abandoned this country. Not that I didn't serve. For 40 years I have given my services and for humanity, and also for 12 years to the education, general education. And I now regret that I raised my children here with the hope that one day this will be. I remember the famous words of General Kiani. I'm talking of the General Kiani of that Kashmir dispute, that things will change. It is now more than 73 years and things have changed from bad to worst. And with this prayer that you will please stop this people reading an affidavit statement and then letting them get out of the jail. Release all the prisoners. Release all the prisoners. I repeat, release all the prisoners before we become a laughing stock, a banana republic, irrespective of what Imran Khan is. He also has done nothing, in my view, nothing very admirable, that he has made so many mistakes that he can't be forgiven. So what if the leaders like that can't be forgiven? If the army people or the establishment or deep state actors can't be forgiven, what will happen? What will happen to that national pride? How can you force that in the throat of people who are so educated, so informed, and with this social media, when the information is dissipated through about half a dozen different sources, they knock at your door and come in through your Facebook or your TikTok or your WhatsApp or your Twitter without knocking at your door, without getting your permission. So please stop this intelligence agency which was created by this nation only to spy on enemies and not to use on their civilians, use on their own kith and kin. Please also, you are a God-fearing man. You have Quran, the Holy Quran in yours, behind the ribs. So please, with that sacred testament in your chest, have mercy on people whose 13-year-old children, you make the mothers listen to their cry and let them and force them to leave. What will happen if they leave? Let's say even the party is finished. There is no such thing as PTI. There is no such thing as Imran Khan. What will happen? Will we be winners? Will we celebrate? What will be there to celebrate? What will happen if you or your intelligence agencies, they back up and they back tried horses, whether it's the Muslim League, Nawaz League, Kaf League, Z League or Rashid League. There are about dozens and dozens of leagues, or People's Party or Hakiki MQM or ordinary MQM or Bab Party, or now which you have created, the religious party which was never heard 5 years ago, and that Rizvi party. What will happen if you polarize this total population of the country, and all you can gain is maybe a few years, maybe your tenure, but what will happen to the country? Are you going to compete with the other nations? Are you going to survive when you have next door neighbors? Their economy is sky high, their foreign exchange reserves are there, their army is well trained, they have the latest equipment, they can sell all the pharmaceutical raw material to the whole world, the vaccination to the whole world. Where are we? Please stop. Its title I'm going to give to this is The Winners and the Losers. Sir, there are no winners and there are no losers in this. We are only a bunch of losers if this saga continues. With this, I thank you all for listening.
यूनिवर्सल टेलीविजन को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें, उसके बाद बेल बटन पे क्लिक करें और अपने कमेंट्स के सेक्शन में अपने कीमती जो ख्यालात का इजहार ज़रूर